Good morning, friends. We are camping this weekend in Mohawk Trail State Park, and we are going to go on an adventure today in search of a hike to a waterfall. And later, I'm going to give you a tab tour, and we'll do some cooking as well. I think we're going to grill up some steaks tonight and play with the pie iron. So come along with our adventures. This is the river that is at the campground. Now, we did not get a riverfront spot. We were not quick enough to nab that, but like we're one row behind and you can hear this river all night long. It's so soothing and peaceful, and it's really beautiful. This is the Cold River. Well, you know what they said about chasing waterfalls. You shouldn't do it. And we definitely got lost along the way. There looks like to be some waterfalls, but the road there is closed until May 31st. So we're looking for something else to do. All right, let's see where we end up. Okay, so we are at, I guess, the glacial potholes, and there are falls over there, so I suppose we did find falls, but I think we should try to go down there. So we're gonna explore the town, I guess, of Shelburne Falls today. There's a lot of cute shops, it looks like. There's a brewery, so we're gonna go and see these potholes, get a nice view of that, and then explore the town. So all is not lost. We'll have a fun day still. We are failing today at finding what we want to find, but there are people down there, so there's got to be a way to get down there.
Like private property, do not trespass.
So there's all these private property signs, don't trespass. There are people over there, but like we're kind of rule followers, so like
you get a pretty good view from over here.
I mean, it is a nice view, but I want to kind of be down on those rocks, but I don't know. I think we're too much rule followers to try to get down over here. Okay, it looks like just the upper view for us today, but it is beautiful. That water is like crystal clear. And it is so warm today that I kind of want to jump in. Like those pools down there are perfectly still, and they look just like so inviting. Well, this is pretty cool anyway, even if we didn't get down there. All right, so over there is the Flower Bridge, which is not open, but I guess when it is open, there's a lot of beautiful, just all covered with beautiful flowers, and I guess it's closed because of COVID, but it looks like it would be really cool to walk across. So I think we'll probably come back someday and try to get on that flower bridge over there.
idea.
All right, it says closed for the season, so maybe it is just a seasonal thing and we're too early for it. Isn't even Memorial Day after all, so. So that was a pretty fun day trip to Shelburne Falls, even though we didn't get to the hike we wanted to get to. We did see some waterfalls, and that was a cool little town that I'd like to go back to when we can go to the Flower Bridge. That looked really cool. But now we're getting ready for dinner, and today for dinner, we are grilling over the fire, which is like our favorite thing to do. We've got some steaks here that we have seasoned up. I forgot black pepper, so we're using crushed red pepper flakes. And then we're gonna make, in the pie iron, some loaded hash browns. So we're getting the fire ready, and we are preheating the pie iron because we found that that was a good way to make sure the things cooked faster in it. Okay, here we go with the hash browns. They're already sizzling. All right, we're gonna do some bacon. And scallions. And then we got mozzarella cheese. I think any cheese here would be good, but we have the mozzarella, so we're going with it. All right. I'm gonna get the other side filled, and then we are going to put this on the fire. Oh yeah, listen to that sizzle. All right, let's check these hash browns. All right, they're definitely nowhere near done, but it looks like they're doing what they need to be doing. They're getting slightly golden brown.
All right, looking promising.
Ooh, look at those marks. Oh yeah.
Ah, got smoked.
Yum. All right, here are our hash browns loaded up. They look great. We're gonna do the plate flip. Whoa, did you hear that? Crispy hash browns? Yum. So our steaks are looking really good, and we think they might be close to done because we sort of did the poke test, but we do have the tool that you need for this, which is an instant read thermometer. We have one in the house and in the tab because that is the best way to know if you're going to overcook your meat or not.
How's your Celsius math? I think it's pretty much done.
All right, here is our steak, and it is cooked really well. And our little hash brown. All right, dig in, Sean.
Can do. Crunchy. It is good. These are loaded hash browns.
Perfect. Yum. All right, that wraps up day one of our Mohawk State Park camping adventures. Tomorrow, I'm going to get you that tab tour I promised you, and we'll probably go for a hike. For now, we're going to clean up from dinner, enjoy the fire, and have a great night in the tab. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday of our Mohawk Trail State Park adventure. It has cleared out here. Everyone has gone home for the weekend. It's maybe about 11:30. But we always, or almost always, will book the Sunday night. We're not going to stay tonight, but we like to have the whole day to hang out and kind of get the most of our weekend. We'll be able to go on a walk or a hike and just enjoy the day. And we don't have to rush around in the morning. I am not a morning person, so just not having to get up and rush around is really nice for me. But today I'm also going to give you my tab tour, and we're going to start with the clamshell kitchen. This is my favorite part of the tab. Now, there are two models, or two basic models of tabs. One is the tab CS, and the CS stands for clamshell, and that is what we have here. And then the other model of tab will have a kitchen on the inside, and once we get in there, I'll point out where their kitchen would be. So it's a really nice area. So we can start down here. Now, we do have a fridge, but we never use this fridge. We don't stay at places that have a lot of power, and the refrigerator just runs down the battery. So we have actually transitioned our fridge into being just another cabinet where we're storing plates and cups and that sort of thing. We have speakers on the outside, so we have a whole entertainment system that's wired through the tab, and so we can get music out here. And I have this awesome little spice rack that I love. It's just like a stick-on thing and these little plastic spice holders, but I just love having it, and it just makes it easy to make really good food while we're on the road. And then these are the cabinets. Now, we don't have them full right now because we're in bear country and we've been keeping all of our food in the bear box. But this would be normally where we would store all of our food, basically. And there's, a good amount of cabinet space here. And then we kind of have like our basic area back here of things we use all the time. We've got cooking soap. We have our thermometer. We have cleaning stuff. Right now, this is really important. There's so many bugs here right now, early spring camping, and they are monstrous. Now we have our sink, which is working now, except for we're not really plugged into water. But that tip, thanks Kate for letting us know. We did just clean out the tip of the faucet. It had so much gunk in it. It was so gross, but it is working now when we have access to water. This state park doesn't have like spigots around, so it was hard for us to get water. We just had to walk kind of far, so we didn't really fill the tab up with water. We do have a 2-burner propane stove, and this works really well while we're on the road, and that's hooked up to the propane in the tab. And then we have an under the sink cabinet, which, is like the under the sink cabinet at your house probably. It's just a holding spot for everything. It's kind of a mess. This is my knife kit. We have extra tablecloths, cleaning equipment, cling wrap. We have our cast iron griddle. We have our just everything's under there, stuffed in. It holds a lot of stuff. And then we have a nice drawer for all our utensils. So I basically have so many utensils in my house that I pretty much stocked the tab with my duplicates. So, just the essentials, right? You need a microplane grater. So basic stuff, And then we have this cabinet here, which houses bowls, plates, or mostly bowls, pans, pots, cutting boards. It's all pretty stuffed in there. More tablecloths. I have a little bit of addiction. Whenever I find an inexpensive tablecloth somewhere, I just buy it. But I'm not going to do that this year because I have plenty. So that is pretty much the clamshell kitchen. It is awesome. You can shut it, right? And it locks with these little handles. All right, let me give you a quick tour of the outside. There's not that many things I want to point out, but I'll just walk around. By the way, this is the bear box, and this is the first time we've ever camped with a bear box, and I wasn't sure what to expect. But it does hold a ton. We put a crate of food and a cooler and a soft-sided cooler, and everything fit in there really well. So, bear box. Oh, I guess I should show you. We have this little other section of our kitchen because there's really not that much counter space. We just bought these 2 folding tables. They're plastic. They fold up really easily, and we just use this for extra space. We have what is our dishwashing station here, that we have these 2 collapsible bins which we can use to do dishes much easier because the sink in the tab is pretty small. It works well if you only have a few dishes to wash or if you're just washing your hands, but when you have a whole batch of dishes, these come in handy. We also have these water jugs. We don't stay at a lot of places where there's hookups, so these are awesome little reusable or collapsible. They're reusable and collapsible water jugs, and we've had those for years and they've lasted. I love those. So and then normally we would have these tables where this bear box is, so it'd be kind of like a galley kitchen, so you could like be cooking here and then you could just turn around and have your tables back there. Okay, this is the driver's side of the tab. And basically what you have here is the water. So if we were just like gonna put water into the tank and fill up the tank, that would, you just pour it in here. There is a water connection here. If we're just gonna connect to like city water, you can just put a hose in and it would come out if you had that kind of hookup. This is where if we had electric hookups, you would plug in right there. I think this is just a vent. We have this hookup for cable. If we ever were in a place where we got cable, there is a TV in here. We've never ever used this. And then coming to the front of the tab, you have the little box that holds the propane and the battery. So we have a marine battery in there and a propane tank, and that propane tank runs the hot water. It runs the hot water or the heater and our propane stove and our battery. We don't really have the biggest or best battery. There's a lot of different hacks you can do to get more energy, and just because of the way we have our tabs stored at home, it is hard for us to have a bigger battery. We bring this battery inside every single time we park so that we can keep it on a battery tender, which keeps it charged to the right levels. It keeps it maintained, the battery. There's the hitch. And then we have an outdoor shower, which we've never used. But it could come in handy.
Sure, I used it once.
What? Oh,
I used it the first time we went to Acadia. I used it.
Okay, Sean used it once. I remember that. We did use it once because in Acadia, they don't have bathrooms at their state parks, or I guess it's a national park. They don't have a bathroom there, so we did use it then. We haven't used it since. I find that usually the state parks have pretty clean, nice bathrooms and showers for not that much money, so we usually just will pay in quarters to take a shower, and it works just fine. Now, let's go on in. Welcome to the tab. Okay, so the view here is, if you walk into the door, you would get to this first area. That is a bench seat. We have some cabinets under here and some cabinets above. There's a big front window, which is nice. We have a pretty view today, actually. And then we also have this entertainment system, and then there's a bathroom. But let's start over here with these cabinets here. This cabinet is pretty much just extra lighting, little cords. We have a deck of cards, the most important accessory, which is our broom and dust pan. And then we have these lights here, which are awesome. So because we don't always have hookups, we tend to try not to use the inside lights too often or too much to drain the battery. We do have solar now, so that helps us to keep the battery full. But these are great. You can plug them in and recharge them, and they're really nice and bright. And this is... It's hard to find metal all the time, but they're magnetic and they hook. So we have 2 of these, which the battery charge lasts forever, and I just love them so much. We have these little lanterns that are not as good. These are real emergency because they just don't put off that much light. Maybe this is one of the first things we bought, and I don't like them that much, but I keep them. And then these little suction cup hooks are awesome. They will stick on the side of the tab, and I forgot to take them off sometimes before we leave, and they still stay on. And this is just great for having extra area to hang things in the summer, to dry your towels and bathing suits and that sort of thing. I think we have like 6 or 8 of these, and this is one of my favorite things I bought for the tab. And then we just bought some headlamps, and so we're excited about those for having at night. Okay. Then we have, this is basically just sundries, medicines, Advil, you know, that sort of thing. Nothing too exciting in here, but it's really handy if you need to get up in the middle of the night and grab some Tums or some Advil. It's really nice. And then here is the entertainment system. I think we use this once or twice a year. We can play DVDs in here, which I will do with my niece and nephew when we get to see them in the summer. We'll watch a movie usually up in the tab, and that is pretty fun. But normally we don't use this at all. It's a little bit of a waste of space for us, but it came with it. All right, so now we have this bench here. Now this front area is where the kitchen would be if we didn't have the clamshell. They have a little bit more room that goes way into the back because they don't have the clam-style kitchen, but we have this bench. Now, this bench, I don't think is in the newer tabs. They actually have this whole section of built-ins, which just is like cabinetry and drawers and stuff for storage, which I actually wish we had. And maybe someday we will go and have them put that in. But for now, we really just use this bench as a place to put our clothes, our personal items that we bring in. We have this tray here so that at night we can bring in water and have a place for water so that it doesn't spill. Like the dog's bowl will go there. We have games in here today. And then I have this little tote bag that I put hanging up. And that holds, like, when we're camping for a longer period of time, books and magazines and just entertainment stuff that is easy to access. And then down here, in these little cabinets here, there's a hot water heater, which, again, we've not used that often, but it is there if we need hot water. And then little things like a day pack. There's like a beach blanket there. We have the most important thing in this cabinet, which is the hammock. And then under here is just where our blankets go. So when we make up the bed, our blankets are there. And then when we take it down, we store them. This blanket is from Iceland. It's a wool blanket, and I love it. Now, on the back of the bathroom door, I have this little organizer thing just for extra storage. I think this is actually like baby nursery thing, but because it was pink, I wanted this color. And we just like store things that we want to easily access. Like, it's kind of cooler at night right now, so we have some hats in there. I have like my underwear and socks. Like, I have headbands in there and some sunglasses. At night, I'll put my phone in here. I don't even know what's up here. We have a laundry bag and a brush. So just kind of like a place to kind of put things that we want easy access to. All right, are you ready for the bathroom? This is the smallest bathroom ever. But it does have toilet. So that cabinet back there basically has some first aid stuff. It has extra toilet paper. It has these little pods that go into the toilet when we dump it. They just go in and they like help sort of, I guess, like eat the bacteria so it doesn't get too gross in the tank and smelly. I know, fun things that you do when you do an RV. We have some extra bug repellent wipes in there. And then there's a window here, but like I made this little shade for it because I mean, you don't need that. Although when it's late at night and I have to go to the bathroom, I like lifting that up and kind of like seeing what's outside. Basic sink. We can, just brush our teeth in there. There's also a shower. So again, we've only used the shower once. In Acadia, I used it, and it actually, we didn't have hookups to sewer. So basically it filled our tank way too fast, and we had to take some buckets over to the dump station so that we could continue at least flushing the toilet. So we actually haven't used that much. It's there in an emergency, I guess, or if we had hookups, but it's so much better just to go to the ones that exist in the state parks. And then I have, there's like a mirror, and then I have this like hanging basket that has things. Actually, this hanging basket is too big, and I gotta figure out what else to do with it, but for now it is there. But like this bathroom is so small that something that's even just too big doesn't exist long in it. But I do love having the bathroom. It's so clutch in the middle of the night when you have to wake up, not to have to like trudge down to the bathroom. So yeah, tiniest bathroom ever, totally functional. Super glad we have it. Okay, so this is the view basically from the front to the sitting area. This also becomes the bed at night. I will show you what the bed looks like made up right now. And this is what it looks like when the tab bed is made up, when the slats are in. We usually keep it made up like this unless we think that there's going to be bad weather for a significant period of time. So if we're camping for a weekend or a long weekend and we know that afternoon is just going to be a washout, we will take the bed down so that we have a sitting area to play games in it. The bed is about, I don't know, between a full size and a queen size bed, and it is not quite long enough for Sean to stretch his legs out, so he has to bend them a little bit. And yeah, we stay warm in here. Even we've camped probably when it's been like 35 or 40 out at night in the fall or early spring, and it stays pretty warm and toasty and cozy in here. So when we don't have it made up as a bed, it is this little sitting area, and this isn't really the way that it came originally. So normally there would be a big table that was part of the original setup of the tab, and it was just much too big and bulky, so we took that out. But basically, normally that table, along with these couple of planks here, would sit within these grooves, and then you could pull the cushions down and make a bed. But we got rid of that table because it was too big and bulky, kind of a pain. And we just switched it with these slats of wood. So we went to Home Depot and had them cut wood slats to the size that we need. And now every night when we need to make up the bed, we just put a slat in here and they go across. There's about 8 of them there that we put in, and we just store them there when we're not using them. This bedroll here is basically a foam topper just to make the cushion a little bit more comfy. These cushions, I bought new ones because when we got the tab, they were like a joke. They were so soft and was basically like just sleeping on wood. So I ordered foam from a foam place and restuffed the mattresses. And then there we have our little mascot, Clementine the alpaca, that we got at Dave & Buster's. I also recovered all of the cushions in here because they were originally just like this kind of, I don't know, I can show you maybe. They were like this kind of pattern and motif, which just did not work for me. So I did a lot of thinking on the color scheme and came up with, I guess the color scheme is pink and colorful. And I made these pillowcase holders with a fish on it because I love that material. And my mom helped me sew the cushion covers. And I made these curtains. So these curtains just sit on a tension rod. But I made these little pockets because obviously in such a tiny place, any extra little storage area you could have. So like, and I just stuff things like, here's like a buff. I have some little rolls of toilet paper in here, which I'm using as tissue, especially as like pollen is pretty big right now. I don't know, I have a magic eraser in there. Not quite sure why. What else? Ooh, some sunglasses from last year. This back area here is basically a golf magazine library from Sean. And then our big broom that we use, or that I use. Sweeping is my job, which I'm not complaining about because Sean has a lot of other worse jobs. Like he always does the dumping station stuff because he's super nice. We have just this little garbage can, which is actually a cereal box container, but it fits nicely up into this little corner here. And then more of our curtains, but we also use it to hang some art from our favorite little artists. This one is from Sierra. We got our dragons from our pal Anna. This is from our nephew Sage. Those are from last year, so hopefully this year we'll get some new things. There's the benches. Now, under this bench is a bunch of storage, which is, I don't know, kind of a pain to get at. Let's see what I can do here. So we have shoes, but there's a door. Well, we have shoes. I'll show you the door. And then some like paperwork and stuff. And then under here, which I'm not going to go under, is just a bunch of towels. So it's not that exciting. And then here's our TV, which, like I said, we use once a year to have movie night with our niece and nephew when we're visiting Sean's camp in the Adirondacks. There is a fan up here, which works really well to keep us cool in the summer. We do have an air conditioning. I think we've used this maybe 3 times. Again, this really only works if we're hooked up to shore power. This is a little painting art that I worked on. It was just, you know, an adult coloring situation. And I colored it and it's really fun. And I don't know, it just spices up the decor in here. Oh, and then I didn't show you. Well, we have these little reading lights here, which are nice. And then these cabinets are just the cabinets to the kitchen. So they open inside and outside. And this is good in case we're stuck in for weather but want a snack. We can just come back here. Normally there will be snack stuff in here. Oh, and then these windows are cool. So this is a screen that you can pull it down so it's like light blocking. This is the little window covering that I made out of extra fabric from our bedroll. And you can do like kind of like a halfway open to get a little light in, but we normally just have it down. Because again, we don't spend a ton of time in here normally unless the weather's bad. And that is it. Let's go outside. All right, guys, that is it for the tab tour. I hope that you enjoyed getting a look at the tab and getting inside and seeing all the stuff. I really love it. It's a really cozy spot for us. We are going to spend the rest of today going on a little adventure. So let me know if you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe and that little bell button to be alerted when I launch a new video.